Time to finish this. Not more of these too. Yeah, at least level 5. This concludes the report. Is anything the matter? It's possible to inquire whether more towers like this are in the vicinity of BGM realm. Infiltrating their capital has proven difficult, but to survey the surrounding area will be simple. I need to immediately start surveying further. It's strangely curious. Look into this tower a little further, caster. I'll increase your staff if need be. Yes, O Emperor. What could be in this tower? At present, the respective war potential of 3 realms is roughly equal. The Revenge realm eagerly repeating their incursion, our Restoration realm, which counters them. And the BGM realm stands by to spectate and execute fence. The supposition of myself and our strategies is that the time is right for the Revenge realm to prepare for a full-scale invasion. To that end, there must be a surefire strategy for victory. One that won't take too long since the BGM realm are sure to interfere. Which brings us to this tower. It's only natural to assume something is at play here. Then in the event there will be more towers like this. The one tower is enough to investigate, feel free to destroy it. Certainly, your lordship. Now then, that concludes today's War Council. Her Holiness Pope Joanne will now conduct rites for her dead. Simple for me, but I ask you, any among you with no plans to please attend if able. Of course, your lordship. Great, I leave it to you. I pray that all of you find the rest peacefully and quietly. This concludes my prayer for today. Thank you all for coming. Come, Bradamante, let's go. Yes, I'll accompany you. Traitor. Today went well, didn't it? Oh, was there something different? It just seemed as though we had fewer casualties. It did, yes. It just as no life is worth less than other, a lower number of lives lost is no less a tragedy. Begging your pardon? There is such a sad thing, not that I have any right to say, seeing as I'm the only one sending them to their graves. Hello, Kotari. But sad to die, indeed to die, and yet we feel no regrets over it. Neither for waging rebellion against proper human history, nor dying in the act, such a strange thing. But is that really alright? Is what alright, your holiness? We were told that the ruler of the BGM realm is Kurt the Grobe. Was he not the king to you in life? Yes, but I chose the restoration over the BGM realm. Our Emperor will is what I believe to be the correct choice. But then this seems to have harbored doubts about me in some of the people. Hehe, that's good enough. I trust in your word. Thank you so much. Of course, if you don't mind, may I treat you to a meal? To a meal? Yes. Of course. Servants don't need to eat, but doesn't a good meal do wonders for a mortal? That's why the Emperor has asked servants who have the knowledge for it to cook meals. Yes, I see. Even if you don't feel hunger, doesn't food still taste good? Of course. But where does the food originate from? I don't know that much about it. But it must be alright if I haven't heard any complaints about it. Alright, let's eat. Yes, let's eat. This desertion of Salome leaves behind something of an ache. That's it. Although it was unexpected that she didn't slice off the head of the Chaldea human. I knew she would eventually turn out the way she did. You felt the same way, didn't you? We're simply unlucky on when eventually was. True enough, but it was trivial compared to that thing. Well, look to look on the bright side. These troubles have directed the Restoration Realm's attention towards Chaldea. Even if the state of the tower is no longer a secret, they won't be able to understand its true purpose. However, some final adjustment remains. After all, it's not functioning with our servant yet, is it? Its self-centering protection is far too firm. Mori? Okay, Mori Takanashi. Here some error arose during the summoning, or was it at the long way all along? No matter, isn't it more convenient that way? Yes, indeed. Why are you so quick to embrace an outcome? Chaldea came to us, didn't they? Then they fled to the BGM realm. All the pieces for this war are in place. So all that remains is to win and bring about the end. One's own destination is a great visit. That is just fine. We are both not afraid to meet our end. Isn't that what rebelling against proper human history is about? Well, now of course it is. But is that really alright with you? How would it not be? Just a thought of mine, you actually wish may not come true. If any servant under needs to have been present, they would have been convinced they'd just been killed. Killing intent of such a magnitude, of such intense emotion, then they flooded the chamber. Next time I'll kill you. Oh ho, excuse me for that. To an old fellow like myself, that much killing intent is pure poison. Now I'll be off to begin the final adjustment. I'll be able to assist you for some time. Oh, how lucky for you. Oh, how horrible. My wish, huh? My wish goes without saying I have one. My husband, here of all, a man full of decent. I want to show that man, to tell him that it was his fault. A child, a woman, an elder, or a dear friend, anybody would suffice. I want to throw their innards in his face. What he tried to protect, what he tried to cherish. What I could never be to him, I want to lay it all to waste. If he would save 100 people, then I want to kill 1,000. Although it's just as likely I won't face him at all. Hard like diamond and as generous as the sea. As far as I'm concerned, he's insensitive, an ill-bred man. I suppose that's what comes of trying to see the good in things. I want to see you, to speak with you when it's over, to tell you that everything was useless and in vain. But this wish is a difficult one to grant. Whatever the realm, he will surely be positioned to rebel against proper human history summoned. In other words, on the allied side, that doesn't change even among the Restoration or BGM realm. I'm at a total loss. Being his nemesis is what I want. I must declare him my sworn enemy and end his life. So when I learned of Chaldea's invasion, it brought something close to anticipation. It seems the boy unfortunately did not bring that man along with him. Which means all that left is to fall back on the narrow hope that he'll be summoned on proper human history side. Nonetheless, that is another pipe dream. I can only continue to fulfill my duties and let things take their course. How very unlike me to be fighting for my master instead of for myself. The prayer had weight to it. The prayer had sincerity to its timbre. Yet sincerely and heavy. To such a degree that it really supported the rebellion against proper human history. Just what kind of master are they? I can't even understand that much. The beliefs in righteousness of which is what fueling us all to. Good day, Queen of Revenge. Oh, it's you. What brings you here? Why, I wanted to cheer you on. Nothing more or less. My objective is for any of the three realms to claim all the grails. I don't care which of you does. You should all strive to do your utmost. There's one thing I like to ask. What is it? I wonder if that's also what the master wishes of us. A difficult question. Such as consequence of responsibility, there is meaning in all this blood and death. And there is but one being who must not win. But that need to concern you. I see. Does that trouble you? Oh no. I hardly know what to say to an abrupt intruder, so I may pose a half-hearted question. It doesn't matter, not one bit. I suppose I'm not welcome here. Have you any information on the Restoration or BGM? That will validate fair play. Then have less and less use for you. Follow me around like this any longer and I will denounce you as a stalker. Stalker. That'd be harsh indeed. I should think you originally meant to ask more, for instance about the absence of a certain servant. But is that presuming too much? A pity. Well, goodbye then. Goodbye, good for nothing. Yes, fate finds. If all you're doing is moving the pieces, you're a fool. Yet if you set yourself down on the board, you're nothing more than another piece. You have all the makings of a grandmaster, but you chose not to pursue that path. What an admirable act. Upstanding to the point where you've wrapped yourself back around into being a fool. A math magician should know better. I see, so you wish to save Vila the Third. Well, Senor Vila, the great hero of Romania. Although his reputation as Lord Emperor is not the most pleasant. Maybe he's reasonable once you got to know him. Just don't call him a vampire and it's no problem. He's a lot like a dead apostle in the way he fights though. It's too late to swap places now, Your Grace. It would be too obvious at this point. That is true. Be that as it may, we definitely cannot leave him as he is now. We of the Via Regia are in need of power, but more than that, we need insight. So you are saying you need someone knowledgeable in the military affairs? Yes, we do. I managed to somehow prevent our management from being swamped by performing multiple roles. But as far as I can bring us, I was never able to devise a winning strategy from the start. That is why we should rescue Vila the Third and cure him if all that possible. We will be happy to take that upon ourselves, if you don't mind. In other words, you have high-level healing or restorative no phantasm that is capable of bringing Vila the Third back to his full strength. Is that what you're applying? I don't mean to say it without issues, it's a gamble, to be quite honest. Gambling is bad, Sancho. Agreed. Countless mates have ruined betting on the long odds at casino. Is that true? Ah, that is right. You were raised in the sheltered environment of Kademash. Mages are fundamentally arrogant and believe everything goes the way they should believe it should. I've known too many with that mindset and it only gets worse with prestige. I see. Matecraft does allow one to make the seemingly impossible possible. And that is where it all starts. Gambling also works under the assumption that you can win. Cheat and rigged games can be reliably detected with Magecraft. If anything, there is no better tool than Magecraft to allow us to cheat yourself. In other words, they'll always win. That's the way they think. But that is still gambling, isn't it? It is. Gambling failure without cheating means that you have 50% of losing. Well, about half of the mages win, right? But what do you think you do after that? Pour all their winning into the next bet. Yes, that's how it goes. You just end up convinced you'll win the next one too, strangely enough. You sound like you speak from personal experience, old man. Like you were in a no-win situation. No, I'm a winner. Even in a situation like this, I'm still alive, aren't I? Oh. Seems like Fo was praising your positivity. Ha 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 ha, thanks. Ha 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 ha, dry laughter. Well, thank you. Those were some nice message by Kaldea's leader. That gentleman sounded like a leader, but I'm afraid we slipped a bit off topic. Sorry about that. No, don't worry about it. Anyway, back to your bet. Normally this would have a 30% chance of success. Normally just fails, by which I mean 50% of the time nothing happens. There's 20% of it failing fatally, which will result in damage to the sync graph. Master Yuki, Master of Chaldea. What are your thoughts? I leave this final decision in your hands. Do it, please. You sure about this? We can't just decide like that when Vila's freaking free will was sealed. It's what Lord Vila would have done. I see. Your understanding of servants is splendid. I applaud your judgment. Oh, sir. Huh? Have you not been listening, sir? We're setting out. Setting out. Yes. To destroy the Gal Vila free imposed upon itself. Shall use our no phantasm. Oh, that of course. Valiant assault dedicate a la Princia. I dedicate my spear to my beloved princess. Wrong. Oh no. A Nova 10 Bar level would not be able to breach the stakes that Lord Bila has imprisoned himself upon. Then why do I have to go? Because it's a secret. Sancho! Doesn't she remind you of a certain little imp? Are you getting a headache, Kadok? No, it's nothing. Don't dwell on the past, Kadok. You're stuck on things you can't change anymore. Stay calm. Keep a cool head and remain detached. Focus on what you can do. In here and now. That's what's best for you right now. Still home is acting like there's nothing wrong. Don't look at him unless you have to. Take the stake of things for granted. No good how to keep thinking about it when Holmes isn't around. Basic Rick's avoidance strategy. He's the world's greatest detective after all. I can't try to grasp what he's thinking. Achoo! Kadok. There's some kind of sudden chill, like ice running down my back. Ice, you say? I wonder if it's the caster's curse. Is anything the Master Kadok? Are you ready to eat something strange? When I was live, I ate what I thought was a dragon meat. It was actually a lizard. Oh, that was wonderful. It never happened in the story though. I guess they didn't like the idea of a strange joke about food. No. It's nothing. The meal was fine. And what's wrong? It's nothing. Nothing, alright? Let's just change the topic already. Haha, any more teasing on our part would just hurt us too. More importantly, Mr. Yuki, is your decision final? If so, then let us set out as soon as we can. Still, what do we do here? I don't believe Kartagrobe can simply vacate the throne and leave on a solo campaign. I'll sub for him. That's fine. I'd be lying if I wasn't nervous, but better for you than me. Hey, it's so wonderful being sure-handed. This is like trying to plug a breach of a dam with one finger. Speaking. We made it out. Our realm secure has more holes than a fine Swiss cheese. Now I'm getting worried. You didn't think they will blow our cover. We don't mind. If it's over, it's over. My, how bold. If it wasn't, I would never have followed his worship on his journey. The story of Don Quaxi is the story of me and Sancho together. Of course, now then, let us be off, your grace. I'm tired. Are you alright? Do you need some water? Have some fruit water. Good, drink it all now. Thanks. I apologize for interrupting, but we detected hostiles. Sir, the enemy. Oh, what a fool. Okay, you have my fruit water, and I'm full of energy. Let's go, Master Kyodea. I am Don Quaxio de la Manque. Behold my magnificent Sancho, we charge. Of course, then I shall be at your side. Oh, that's what it does.
よく言いました。それは絶えず見た滅びの夢。最果てにありながら、鳥は明日、動物、 内側アコール公園の本気です。たまらないわ。あまり悩ませない楽しくなるでしょう。はい、どうぞ。バルムンク、お願いね。了解。バルムンク、首をはねるわ。我が憎しみを焼き付けろ。投げます。すごいですよ。
Damn, that crit!
呪ってやる。黄金も王もすべてを呪って。手に入る簡単に終わらないように。よく目をよく言いました。逃がすものか潰れなさい。アコール多くの欲望。何を喜んでいるのです。私が出たのです。
A grand victory. Well, he's surprisingly strong. Sure, Son Donkose isn't far from King Arthur in terms of fame. No, that alone is not explanation for this strength. Donkok's story has been a number of chapters. They all describe the limitation of Donkok's humanity. An attack with windmills resulted in himself and Ranchinet being sent fly. He was defeated in his jousting duels. I didn't lose every time. My apologies, you won some and lost some. In any event, in stories, he is never described as having exceeded the boundaries of humanity. Which means that this is his power as king of his realm. Yes, precisely. Sir has finally awakened to his sealed powers as a knight. It's a phrase you'll only hear in his dream. It's part of the benefits package that comes with becoming king. Specifically, it is a backup from the Holy Grail. What a stomach-churning benefits package. I mean, frankly, it's way more than you expect. You know, the other realms are already high up there, and they got griots of their own. Yes. A common soldier becomes a warrior worthy of Valhalla, and a warrior would become a hero. For a hero to gain this kingly power, I can't imagine what would happen. And the kings of the other realms, Grimhilde and Constantine XI. Grimhilde made it to a legend for her gruesome revenge. Her combat performance needs little guesswork. Constantine was a hero in the battlefield who defended his capital insensitively while the war situation was stacked heavily against him. He is not to be underestimated either. And then there's me. An old man on the verge of retirement who farmed it in the countryside. And a knight errant. That's what I prefer to be called. Yes, his grace is lovely when the king's living his dream. I should say, then this is a dream. No sir, it is most likely in reality. We almost arrived. You sure you can do this, right? Can you do this? Can I do this? Yes, there's certainly to do this, your worship. You say I can do this. Then you can do it. I heard him, there's no point in relaying the message. You said there was no point in relaying the... Holmes, would this really work? Yes. Well, Miss Master. Miss Vexen, what should I call you? Miss would just do fine, Mr. Holmes. Well, Miss Sancho, there is no phantasm, but not one for attacking, such as an anti-army type. Yes, precisely. Don't cause say no phantoms to nullify the condition of veil at fruit. The less said, the better, you might say. A spell put us an enemy gentleman would, but you'll know everything soon enough. As if executed by impalement, that man stood there still, stained with fresh blood, and swaying along whiteless, being blown by the wind. He looked like a rotting corpse, but he was alive. This is the kind of location of either restoration or revenge could come through, right? So why is he still here? See for yourself. A stone. The moment he sensed something moving around him, it almost activated his no phantasm. He may have been merely his psychic when driving the stakes through himself. Talk about monstrous. Monstrous is too harsh. I didn't mean like that. That mentality of it is monsters. What would you or I have done in that messy situation? I think all I had in my mind was running away. So did I might add. I could come up with the notion of stealing myself, but beyond that, I don't think I consider the need to defend myself. I may be intelligent, but I have no experience as a heroic spirit on the battlefield. But for the time being, we must put in habit to this self-defense. That much cannot be helped. Let us neutralize the threat and control. The two of you use no phantasm when master signals. Mr. Yuki can't ask for help. Leave it to me. Just be careful. Getting killed by your own servants. It will be no nothing matter. Alright. Now for the time being, let us ask our Lord Vlad to calm down. Okay. History revives. Next turn.
火薬の匂い。くらめよく言いました。来たれ。慈悲だ。神戸を垂れよ。恐怖を希望もなく何人通るにあたわず。
She revives.
アコール。ありえないにも程があります。屈辱で我を忘れてしまいそうですね。好き放題扱ってあげましょう。よくいい判断です。慈悲神戸を垂れよ。恐怖は希望もなく何人通るにあたわず。モルゴーアコール多くの欲望。
One more.
いいとは所詮誰かの見た一時の夢だ。
Damn it! Wiped up most of my party.
発動いくぜ。かっこいいとこ見たくないかい。
簡単に終わらないように
オーケー。
目を背けないで。死になさい。
そこだ。ここまでか。
Oh, here goes him too.
内熱衝撃板装填します。内熱衝撃板装填します。パラドックスあまり悩ませない。楽しくなるでしょう。はい。示弾装填します。照準捉えました。バーニア突撃します。確実に。潰した断ち切れそうでしょ。目をいい判断。目を背けないで死になさい。召し上げましょう。消えなさい。無礼な。
Finally did it. Now, I said, then do as I showed you before. Your Grace, shut your eyes. Yeah. Recover, recover, recover. The completed book is closed and you awaken from your warm dreams. Be cure of your ailments, all is in the past. You must abandon our dreams in order to survive. Activate noahblomberg, return to reality. Alas, this is brutal but kind reality. Should stay silly along the quacks, you know. Surrounding magic energy is decreasing rapidly. This is, at this rate, Wulan will be able to maintain his existence. Yes, because that is the power of this Thanatos. What? I imagine this will be the case. You called it a return to reality. We sent Lord Wulan here back to 7th century Spain. There's no singular, nor any witchcraft or mysteries, just a rustic countryside simple and tranquil. In this region where nekoxx lived. Wait. In the 17th century, mystery won't have been quite as diminished as it is today. It should be more than a small deviation compared to the Age of Gods, but that may indeed be true. Our director that this is the best extrapolation across the world as a whole. The focus of that novatantism is much less broad. It forcibly returns the servants to the real reality where neither matecraft nor mystery are observed, thereby voiding the contract with the master and cutting off one supply of magic energy for existence. Even the skill of independent action is disable. That's because there is no hero called Villa the Third in 7th century Spain. Of course, whatever power Morty made use of to brainwash Villa the Third. It fades away like a dream. Although it goes no further than that, truthfully this novatantism has a major flaw. A flaw. If we always use it, we too shall disappear. I see, that explains the peacefulness I'm feeling. What is it going on about all of a sudden? Do something, will you? Right, cancel the novatantism right now. Good, it didn't cause them to disappear since it didn't completely remove the effects of the novatantism. The compulsion for Lord Villa to rebel should, as Miss Sancho calculated, be removed now. As for its combat ability, it's 50-50. Are you right, Lord Villa? Okay, to think Master would ever inquire about my physical condition. I'm glad to say that my man ladies have returned to their course. It appears that you have recovered your reason, Lord Villa. And what of the rebels from before? I barely warrants asking. I am recovered. The embers may linger, but I have enough rationale to keep it in check. Pray tell what you've done. I assumed that rescue would follow with the correction of the singularity. The thing is, we would like to explain in full, but this is enemy territory. Let's be underway first. Sooner the better. Chief, I don't sweat like this in a normal day. All's well that ends well, isn't it? I just say so. Don't the two of you know that you were real close to disappearing under any normal circumstance? The BGM realm was kind enough on the verge of total annihilation. Touch Sir Kadok, that is a form of adventure. Adventure, yeah. Adventure, yay. Yuki, say something. Thank you so much. No, you're welcome. Folks such as us saving a hero of such distinction. Like I'm something like out of a dream. Now I see. Until the singularity is corrected, myself engaging in the combat would not be possible. In addition, I have one more announcement. We too are incapacitated for some time in the aftermath of that novatantism. We're at the level where if we should try and attack any windmills, we stand to go flying. Really, Sancho, have I grown that weak? You have. Please see for yourself by attacking my homes. Eh? Alright, let's give it a go. I'm charging at you. Whoa. After a moment of hesitation, he puts his palm on Love's head. Wow. Ooh. This is draw, haha. Yuki dropped to the ground. Down? Well done. Is that some sort of ritual? Suddenly, Down's headache medicine. Was it decided that you acquire my wisdom, even at the cost of forfeiting his power as a king of his realm? Yes, our power is, after all, not substandard to begin with. If the kings of both realms were to launch a serious attack, the result would not change, even if we were at full strength. Having said that, how could you abandon the power you have been given without hesitation? An act of selfishness, or just the opposite, selfish? Pardon me, I'm showing discourtesy to those who have revived me. Not at all. First of all, we should take a look around the BGM city. I will inspect our armaments. Now I'm jumping ahead of myself here. I have something important to first take care of. Such as... a few things. My true name is Via the Third, servant of Chaldea, and class berserker. I have now rejoined the fight. Keep the good work, Lord Viad. Of course. Although it's difficult at present for me to become your spear, there's still much work to be done. Your Grace. There is how a knight and lord ought to look. If only I could do that. Ahem, welcome back, Your Grace. Something's off. Oh, my knight, nekoxx. Be selfish and I will stop be silly. Well, my deepest apologies. Very good. What was that? One component of Miss Sancho is apparently Princess Dulcinea. According to Sir nekoxx, one of the reasons he travels is to proclaim Princess Dulcinea beauty. Hehe, it is an embarrassing account. It's awful in my heart when she transformed at all in a flash. I don't care. Without a care in the world, I'm finding the loss of Via the third power in combat to be a dire one. That may be true, but it's hard to say that this time around, since we do have military strength of our own to stand against the others. But up to this point, we've lacked the tactical expertise to put all to work. If Via can compensate with this, then it might not be a synonymous of a loss. It may turn out that way, but our force seems well. Now then, we will both be on our way first. We'll see you soon in the throne room. Mumble mumble, excuse us. Now then, Mr. Yuki and Kadok, let's take a walk around the town. As before, we're applying servant disguise to the two of you. Lively, but lacking in ambition. Morale is moderate. But regrettably, they are without motivation. Motivation, I see. Since the realm's entire populace is made of servants, it is safe to say that we have universal conscription. Of course, it bears consideration that the longer this war drags out, the lower motivation and morale will drop. War removes people from their daily lives, and those engaged in prolonged battle grow weary of war. For as long as this war continues, those who have grown weary of war will fall behind in the fight. According to what I heard earlier, military drills will commence soon. Why don't we head that way? We shall. Hey Yuki. Yeah? Do you think we're included in the drills too? Seems that way. I guess so. Ready, slash. Taking fire. Wada. Behold my spearmanship, which once bore the title of Gale. I presume that was self-proclaimed. Mumble mumble. Why can't I use rapid casting? After all the studies I put myself through as an alchemist. I guess I'm just tongue-tied. Oh, I'm surprised how vigorous they are. Well, not that, it's my place to say, but isn't that this enough? Good enough. It's more than regrettable. So what's their take? Not here. First we wait for the audience with the king Karadagrobe. If only as not to tell the same story twice. They won't pass muster. Not at all. For argument's sake, let us suppose the situation turns out entirely in our favor. Specifically, a best case scenario where an all-out war between the revenge and the restoration realm ends, with one of them being wiped out, and the military strength of the remaining realm is substantially diminished. The current state of affairs in this realm, we still stand to be completely decimated. That bad? And the two servants there seem to grasp a general idea as why. Well, roughly, we were part of the 12 paladins. As we got experience serving as respectable officers. But whereas the other servants are concerned. Right. There are hero soldiers. Those fought in major battles, all kinds of people. But that adds up to a heaping mess. There's no way to unify them. It takes all we got just to command a small unit. Perfect discipline in army with just two servants in command is next to impossible. Dear Mir and Shifu, oh, too little too late. As far as I'm aware, Krimhilde of the Revenge Realm and Constantine of Restoration Realm each have a complete command over their armies. By comparison, we are a rabble. In the end, can we unite as an army? Everything here hangs on the BGM realm to do so. Then what exactly should we do? Since ancient times, there has been but one means to form an army out of common soldiers. That is to drill them. Military drills. It would be pointless for each individual to put up whatever effort they prefer into their training, as they do now. We must come together as an army and move as though they were one living thing. Otherwise, there will be many issues larger than the fight ahead of them. I would like you to announce that the joint exercise for all servants of the BGM will commence early tomorrow morning. Yes, right away. Our first formation will be temporary and will be reorganized as training continues. Or should we assign position for each servant on an individual basis, or should we group like a light class together? What kind of units will be necessary, and what strength? Where are we most lacking? These are all matters to sort of. Hey Sancho, I advise not to say you want to hand over your throne and crown your lord worship. Yes, sir. If I do say so myself, not the right servant to sit on the throne isn't me by any stretch. Unfortunately, you must not, as I am now. There exists no ability for me to lead on the front lines. Above all, you have already taken the name Karadagrobe. With invisible, I'm convinced that your successor could even be myself. Karadagrobe is who you are, and that can no longer be changed. You shall no longer be allowed to flee. Even a cliff lies before you, you must crawl up in order to reach to the other side. Do not falter, steer yourself like iron, with flies and pretense. You're a king. That is now an unchanging matter. Alright. Please rest assured, sir. In the event of any emergency, I'll take care of things. A statement from Miss Sancho was full of confidence. If the story is so true, Don Quixote should be able to feeling relief. But his current expression is filled with guilt. Tomorrow's military drills require all of you to participate, including Master. As expected, it's impractical to summon servants during drills, where you're prying eyes all around. Although as long as you refrain from utilizing their no phantasm, you can possibly assert yourself as a summoner who can ensure shadow soldiers. Understood. I expect you to advise Master as a mage, Kadok. That's a big role. I'll do my utmost. Holmes, you're the great detective, therefore you must be able to see what I cannot. Even lacking military expertise, can you meet my expectations? Of course I can. I guess it's nice to be working with you, Master Guy. Say, as for us, yours is the most difficult task. And what is that? Do nothing, trust us, and we'll stand watch. But to do nothing. You're a card to grow away, and therefore should not allow yourself to step forward or fight. Your job is to trust in your subordinates. Of course. Now Master and Cutout may attend to the rest. I shall retire too for a time. Can't get back to sleep. Oh, Senor Yuki. I wonder, is there anything wrong? Could something be troubling you? I just got up for a bit and can't sleep again. Us old men don't sleep all that well, but you're just a pup master. Sancho. Right here, what do you need? Some coca, I take it? It's what my lovely maid would have in mind. You're welcome. Won't be a minute. That reminds me, how did you end up as king? It's not so long a story, just the way things turn out. Yes, it's really just how things turn out. I became aware that I was a servant fighting for proper human history, in other words, an enemy of the servants in these realms. It might be safe to say, it's a stroke of luck. Before I even got a word out, Sandra shut me up and faged that we were their comrades. And when we snuck into Wrench realm to collect information, I knew it would be a dead end. My body could survive that round, but my sight certainly couldn't. I'm somewhat cowardly, and yet the Restoration realm wasn't much different. Although their motives and methods differ, their goal is to rebel land against proper human history. After much deliberation on the matter, we decided to move someplace where the influence of the two realms would do less harm. And then suddenly I noticed there were other servants running away alongside me. When Sancho figured out there were other servants on the side of proper human history, she suggested we make a place for them. Me? All I did was run around in a circle. The only times that was useful were when we had a few fights with demonic beasts. All I did was raise my hand when the decision came that someone had to be king of the realm. Isn't that a great feat? Oh no, it wasn't great of me at all. Nothing about it was great. After all, I'm not even in my prime. My body and mind can only be in an aged state. The story of Don Quox begins and ends with me, still an old man. Those who know me as an old man, that's why my appearance shows my age like this. My stomach was in all kinds of knots after I called myself a lofty name as Card the Girly. The ambience is pretty different from daytime. The nights can be so lonesome, they make me go back to my old self. Though I know you find me depressing. Sir, Master Yuki, I brought the coca. Okay, Sancho, thank you. Thank you very much. No problem at all. It's sweet and delicious. It's really tasty. I'm honored to receive your compliments. Drinking cocoa like this, it's an easy way to forget that you're a knight. Okay, oh that won't do. We'll need to swear it off then. Knock it off. It's one of the few pleasures this old man has, alright? Only a joke. From what I've heard. Not at all. I merely offer suggestions. After all, I am also ultra hopeful maid. What his grace wishes is the duty of his squire to make that happen. He became king because it's a station of least danger. If we were to go serve on the front lines, we would be treated like any common soldiers. Can't let him die so easily. And sitting on the throne, I'm basically just giving off grunts and muttering away. A king can be like that. There are like parents to adolescent children. Right, I'm the official third wheel of the Reikosaka. To stand tall and proud, that's all it takes to be a king. I suppose. Senor Yuki, what are your thoughts? Maybe make your own move when it counts most. So that's the way it's got to be, Yes sir, make a move when it counts the most. Any other time, do nothing. Do nothing. Then that is just where the matter rests, at least for the time being. Wonder if it will. That was delicious. I better be getting back. Don't you want to talk some more? No, I have to get an early start. We should all be getting some rest. Good night then. No good. It's safe to say, apologies can't be made without courage. From your point of view, Sancho, how's that master of Kaeya look to you? I'm not so good at judging people. I think he's a good person, most importantly, a person willing to accept apologies. Kaeya is here, your grace. It's not as though you don't know what that means, do you? They walked right in, therefore there is no cause for concern. Even then, all this means nothing to me. The one thing we need, your worship, is your spirit. Although, depending on how things go, a mere apology might not suffice. It's high time we headed back to the throne. Carl de Groby has returned from battle. Troops, my true name is Villa the Third. This time I am the one who has been invited to support the BGM by Carl de Groby. Due to certain circumstances, I have lost my power as a servant. But as a result, I have been entrusted with the full authority over the army at His Majesty's pleasure. As Commander-in-Chief, or simply General, that is a duty which I have been entrusted. Let any who are not content offer objection. I am glad there seems to be no discontent with my position. Now we commence our training post-haste. From this point you must be commanded as a single army, not as individual heroes. Not lone heroes, but composition of several into units, who when united then form an army. By no words alone will not convince you, that goes for all present. Your achievement as an individual or what made you heroic spirits. Your mindset is likely I will do as I please because I'm strong. That being the case, we shall first start with the maneuvers. I put together a unit, keeping numbers to a minimum. With Senor as Paul, you as a larger force, conduct a siege on our smaller group. However, our reinforcement will arrive in due time. Until then, we shall see if you can break through our defenses. Given these factors, victory for you is assured and defeat is unacceptable. Such an easy test should be no problem for you, surely. The pro-faction was strong enough to incite the proud servants. Yeah, I'll do this. I'll show you my strength. Don't you cry foul. I'll take you down. Amid angry roars from left and right, Bielefurt ordered his caster to build a temporary fortress. The fortress was likely too frail to survive a storm attack, as an impressive appearance suggested. Bielefurt entered the stage of his besiegement, accompanied by a small group of servants, and shut the gates behind him. There were 3 hours left until the designated start time. The servant chosen for Vietsai ran about relentlessly. A few grumbled complaints about why they were doing this. Since you had chosen for this mission, you can trust we shall carry it out faithfully. Good. However, Sir Wulan, why choose a siege? Defense is my field of expertise. Moreover, no one ought to dare voice a complaint if we win under these circumstances. Yes, I see. Caster, Yuki. Here. As I said before, you can't use a no phantasm, but it's not unnecessary to defeat them. It's a battle of attrition, an ongoing test of endurance and intensity. I trust that you will organize your team with that in mind. Your team includes Holmes, Shifu, and Roland. The fort has separate holes, making it easily occupied if those are crossed. They will first attack with brute force, and following that, take notice of the holes. By looking from the lateral angle, once they notice of the holes, their attack will surely predictable, whether on the offensive or defensive. The important thing is to analyze the behavior of the enemy force. A signal will be sent high near the holes until then, lying and waiting to ambush the enemy. Roger that. Stay firm. Hiya. Now we'll tag along as usual, offering support without fighting directly. What's with that look? I don't know why I expected any different. You're exactly the same, you know? Nah. Alright. Already, stop dwaggling and set up that spell we discussed. Okay, Momo Hup. Are you even trying to with that chant? Well shit, it's not about the words, it's about the feelings. Feelings. Didn't look like you were trying too hard with the feelings either. I'll let it slide though, for my broken heart is used for do such things. Try saying your big heart is forgiving, Sid. Way to be a downer, dude. My bad, and here they come. A side gate was secretly built to the right of the rear gate. The gate is expected to be too small for a chariot to enter, but multiple people can enter simultaneously without difficulty. And it seems the enemy is also aware of that, or it should be spreading through the ranks. In other words, it will not be riders we face, but those skills in close combat such as sabers and lancers, and as well as assassins. Therein is Lord via conjecture. They are here. Now. Damn it, ambush, pull back now. What easier to said than done. Damn, we'll just attack as we like. Yay, it feels so good to beat someone so early helpless to hope. Nah, your stupid plan is blowing right up in your stupid faces. That caster there is the worst. What kind of stupid doll is that anyway? I'll kill them. Okay, closing in. Right, we have about 5 seconds until Lady Shifu takes matter into her own fists. Better stop her. go with this scene for now. Ah, can't use the Phantasm Morgan? Oh, BS. I hate that. Can't use Morgan's MP. Oh, legit. Oh, okay. Bit by bit. Long time no see. So it just can't use their MP at all. Oh, all their parties has full attack. Retreat, retreat. Damn it, we thought the plan was solid too. You think we were defeated by such a motley crew? Disgrace on the name of my knightly order, nah. I'll say, how did we lose to such a crappy unit? What's wrong, bonehead? It ain't gonna be an open casket once I'm done with you. Hot foot in out of here. Nice work with the sour grapes there. That concludes our duties. By looks of things, they went pretty much as expected. Shall we go on Lord Vita just in case? I don't even know that number. And with that, I hereby take charge of the army. You'll be commanded this. I take it there are no objections. No, none. A demon, he's a demon. Seriously, what happened? How were we supposed to win? We can't even destroy one pity for it. As heroes, our prestige ought to be weeping. It all went expected, but what a sight to behold. Ah, this is Sancho. Scary, so scary. Hey, RE2, alright. Just fine, since the castle is almost entirely empty. I'm reminded how there is nothing quite as scary as a well-led army. That's true, I'm so relieved we succeeded in the rescue campaign. If we leave military matters to Lord Wulan, things can be brought up to a satisfactory standard for now. In which case, yes, I will consult with Lord Wulan from this point on, and I'm sure to see results. It's good to be working with you all. Okay, that should be it for that.
長雨は気がめいる。ふと興味。新生ダヴィンチちゃんの素敵な工房にようこそ。長雨は。
I'm just gonna get the QP. Because I lost all the money from that. And QP now.
お任せ。ガンガン行こうか。早炊きです。カルウェス運命をかけた戦いで要点を手伝う。日の火薬のよし、この私だぞ。どんな嵐であろうとも、どんな未来が待とうとも。これを突破するのが私たちの課題なのさ。ボンビアージョン、また会おう、諸君。あちらもどうぞ。あくまで華麗に駆け抜けるら前人未到。未完の馬よ、輝ける轍を残せ。人生はとても楽しい。ビューティフルジャーニー。はち切れそうでしょ。よー、あちらもどうぞ。かけて。どんな嵐であろうとも、どんな未来が待とうとも、これを突破するのが私たちの課題なのさ。ボンビアージョン、また会おう、諸君。人間の火力ではどうあっても私には及びません。おとなしく我が社に入。
Okay, one more QP. Because we need the money. Wait, what? Okay, that's BS. I got Rainus instead. And that's gonna be a problem. Can't return it then. Can't change to Bassett instead.
重みをプレゼント。これもまたフラガラッフラガラックアーババゼナー罠を仕掛けるの。さあドリムナウよろしくた。では俺も力を貸してやろう。仰せの通り。おかわりもいいですよ。いったこれで海の水が走ります。おかわりもいいですよ。そいつでこれを差し上げます。了解です。輝きおよろしい。やってこれでこれで了解です。エルメロイの市場レースとっとくご堪能あれ。いいわね。楽園への目覚め。運命にかぶった戦いであれば黄昏の時ルーンに上げたのよりは落ちますが、違法な国、時の終わり。慣れた剣は彼の手。霊殿に勝利を刻め。ラウンドオブアーバロ。混沌に七血、冷血に毒。落ちぬ日はない。月も解くと我が咲く五郎次郎。必ずの鎮。時には痛みを与えましょう。フラガラックアーバル。フラガラックアーバル。はかり、たばかり、陥れる。こいつが軍師の妙ってもんさ。
That took too much. It's Reik's turn.
Yeah.
Rising in level skill now. And Krimhilde. Promise I need these bottles. Okay. Anyways, let's do that. Mel seems worth it. She's good.